God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, and thank you for everyone who is attending this evening. Just for point of reference, the rear behind you is an egress, as well as off to the right here. Just for some housekeeping real quick, if I can just do a roll call. Trustee Berenger?
Berenger's present.
Trustee Ferraro?
Ferraro here.
Trustee Carl?
Carl present.
Trustee O'Connor?
O'Connor present.
And Mayor Dwyer here. Thank you so much. Okay. First order of business is the continued public hearing, New York State Eminent Domain Procedure Law, EDPL, 47 Lakes Road, tax map 211-1-1, Roscoe Smith Estate. Council, do you have anything to start with, or are we just here for public comment?
No, I have some remarks.
Please.
And I will make the remarks, and we'll see if anybody comes in. If not, we can close the hearing. I would recommend that we accept written comments until at least Friday at 5 p.m.
Okay, terrific.
So in any event, good evening. My name is Kathleen Bennett. I'm an attorney with Bonchenick & King, special counsel to the Village of Monroe. We're here today to continue the public hearing pursuant to Section 201 of the Eminent Domain Procedure Law, or EDPL, to consider the condemnation of certain property by the Village of Monroe. The Village, pursuant to Sections 201 through 204 of the EDPL, proposes to acquire fee title to the property owned by W.C. Lincoln, Inc., in the Village of Monroe, Orange County, New York, at 47 Lakes Road, and identified as tax map parcel number 211-1-1. The property is the former home site of Roscoe Smith, the founder of Orange and Rockland Utilities, and widely recognized as the man who brought electric light to the Hudson Valley. The public purpose for the acquisition is for historic preservation, including restoration of the home site and other historical artifacts on the property, including bridges and water wheel, historical education, including markers/monuments, and/or an education center, a public park to include trails and/or gardens. There are no alternatives to acquisition of this property, as this is the Roscoe Smith homestead, and the only way to preserve the Roscoe Smith homestead for historic preservation purposes is to acquire the actual homestead. Based on the DEC mapper and the environmental assessment form, the acquisition of the property will protect the historic and archaeological resources of the property. It would preserve habitat for the northern long-eared bat. It will preserve wetlands and protect the floodplain. Preservation of the property would not result in significant impacts from stormwater runoff, water usage, or wastewater treatment, traffic, noise, or solid waste disposal. Remediation and rehabilitation of the home would be done in accordance with all appropriate standards dealing with mold, lead, and/or asbestos. Overall, the acquisition would be beneficial to the environment and surrounding area. Although public comments that have been received will be more specifically addressed in the determination and findings that will ultimately be issued by the village, it is worth noting at this point that eminent domain is an attribute of sovereignty, meaning it is an inherent governmental right, and as such, it is not subject to a permissive referendum. It is also worth noting that the EDPL requires the condemnor to consider only three things: the public use, benefit, or purpose, alternatives, and environmental impacts. Neither the cost nor the method of financing are relevant at this stage of the process. There are a few additional items that will be added to the hearing record this evening. First, the reply attorney affirmation from the Village of Monroe versus W.C. Lincoln and Simon Jacobs, index number EF005171-2023, will be included as Exhibit Z. The reply attorney affirmation. I said that. The order from the Village of Monroe versus W.C. Lincoln and Simon Jacobs, index number EF005171-2023, will be included as Exhibit AA. The attorney affirmation in support of motion to dismiss counterclaims from the Village of Monroe versus W.C. Lincoln and Simon Jacobs, index number EF 005171-2023 will be included as Exhibit BB. Correspondence from the planning board attorney to counsel for W.C. Lincoln from August, September, and October of 2022 is included as Exhibit CC. A timeline prepared by the planning board attorney is attached as Exhibit DD. And the building conditions assessment for the Roscoe Smith estate prepared by Barton and Lejudas PC and dated October 16th, 2023 is included as Exhibit EE. Before moving on to the public comment portion, I want to briefly outline the next steps. The village will close the public hearing tonight, but accept written comments until 5 p.m. on Friday, October 20th, 2023. The village will then consider the comments, complete the seeking process, and issue a determination and findings sometime within the next 90 days. If the village decides to move forward with the acquisition, then once an appraisal report has been received, a former EDPL purchase offer will be made based on that appraisal of the fair market value of the property. The village will then file notices of pendency and a petition for permission to file an acquisition map with the Orange County Supreme Court. Title to the property rights would transfer to the village upon filing of an acquisition map with the county clerk. Again, additional information with respect to the property can be found at the village's website or in the village clerk's office. And at this point, we can open it up to any public comments.
Kathy,
Council, just,
I'm sorry.
maybe you could,
I was just going to note that the village office closes at 4,
there you go.
so.
Okay, so written public comments until 4 p.m. So if no one's here to speak, you can,
It's open for the eminent domain proceeding. So there's no one here to speak.
Okay, with no one here to speak upon this matter, I ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
Carl will make that motion.
Second,
O'Connor will second.
call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I. Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Aye, aye, so carried. And as council had mentioned, we'll receive written comment through Friday at 4 p.m., Friday
The 20th.
the 20th of October. Thank you. Thank you, Kathy.
thank you.
Well, thank you.
Is she here the whole night, too?
I'm just here. What's this? Thank you.
It's got an early night. All right, move it along.
It took her longer to set up her table.
You never know.
But this is, so if I leave you, this would be.
Okay, the next order of business I'd like to address is a due process hearing. There are code violations against the property as known as 305 North Main Street, SBL 201-5-11. Due process hearing is being held on Tuesday, October 17th of 2023 at 7 p.m. in the boardroom of the Village Hall, 7 Stage Road, Monroe, New York. The hearing was held to review, or is held, to review the violation issued by the Village of Monroe Building Department on the following property within the Village of Monroe: 305 North Main Street, tax map number 201-5-11, as per Village Code Section 155A-6E General requirements. All land must be kept free of dead or dying trees and accumulations of brush, shrubs, weeds, grass, stumps, roots, excessive or noxious growth, garbage, refuge, or debris which could either tend to start a fire or increase the intensity of a fire already started, or cause poisoning or irritation to people or animals, or cause or tend to cause or enhance an unhealthy or dangerous or obnoxious condition on said property or an adjacent or neighboring property. The specific violation is piles of garbage left to the right and left of the driveway, in the rear of the property, on the right side of the house, and miscellaneous garbage throughout the property. So I need a motion, let me start off with the hearing. So anyone wishing to speak on this matter, please come forward.
Mayor, there's also 2 unregistered vehicles on that property, on the lawn. I noticed that the other day when I took a ride through there.
Okay?
And the property is a mess.
Yeah, it is.
Was this like, was someone moving in? What is all that debris?
That's been there all summer.
Yeah. What I'd like you to do tomorrow, I don't know if it's already in the complaint, but I'd like to add that, the 2 vehicles that are unregistered on the property. I thought I heard that they were, but I don't see them here.
I never got an update. I never
Yeah.
got
Okay.
And
So-
they're actually on the lawn, so that's a violation in and of itself. They're parked on the lawn underneath a tree.
So I'm sure that's not a problem. Adding that, counsel, right? Okay?
Well,
No, I mean to add it.
Yeah.
Is it a separate due process? I think it was. I don't know why it's
If
not
he
here.
was- Yeah, if he was violated for those issues, then that's fine.
Yeah. If he wasn't, then it'd be a new violation.
Yeah, it would be a new violation.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean that you can't clean up the old violation.
Right, sure.
And at the same time, he should be issued another violation.
Okay. Okay, anyone wishing to speak upon this property at this time? For the record, let it be known that no one is here on behalf of this property or these owners of this property. So I would close the due process hearing. All right, I need a motion to close the due process hearing.
Carl will make that motion.
Second,
Ferraro, second.
Go ahead.
trustee Carl and trustee Farrar.
Yep.
Okay, call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried, thank you. Next order of business is the due process hearing for property known as 290 Spring Street, SBL 209-1-9.22. A due process hearing is being held on Tuesday, October 17, 2023, at 7 p.m. in the boardroom of the Village Hall, 7 Stage Road, Monroe, New York. The hearing is being held to review the violation issued by the building department on the following property within the Village of Monroe: 290 Spring Street, tax map 209-1-9.22, as per Village Code, Section 155A-6E, general requirements. All land must be kept free of dead or dying trees and accumulations of brush, shrubs, weeds, grass, stumps, roots, excessive dying trees and excessive and/or noxious growth, garbage, refuge, or debris which would either tend to start a fire or increase the intensity of a fire already started, or cause poisoning or irritation to people or animals, or cause or tend to cause or enhance an unhealthy or dangerous or obnoxious condition on said property or any adjacent or neighboring property. The specific violation is garbage, including a tire found along the home at the curb of Ash Street in the middle of the house, or the side of the house. I need a motion to open up this. Did I get that motion?
Ferraro, make the motion.
Second?
Carl is second.
Okay, call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye. Okay, hearing is open. Anyone wishing to speak on this matter, please come forward at this time. Okay, let the record show that no one here on behalf of the owner and/or owners of this property, known as 209-1-9.22, have appeared before the board. And I ask a motion to close the due process hearing on this matter.
Carl will make that motion.
Second,
Berenger will second.
call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Next order of business, a due process hearing on property known as 207 North Main Street with an SBL of 203-5-16.2. A due process hearing is being held on Tuesday, October 17, 2023, 7 p.m. in the boardroom of the Village Hall, 7 Stage Road, Monroe, New York. The hearing is being held to review the property violation issued by the Village of Monroe Building Department on the following property within the Village of Monroe: 207 North Main Street, as per Village Code Section 155A-6E, general requirements. All land must be kept free of dead or dying trees and accumulations of brush, shrubs, weeds, grass, stumps, roots, excessive or obnoxious growths, garbage, refuge, or debris that would either cause a fire or tend to increase the intensity of a fire already started, or cause poisoning or irritation to people or animals, or cause or tend to cause or enhance an unhealthy or dangerous or obnoxious condition on said property or any adjacent or neighboring property. The specific violation is garbage, debris, and junk in the front entrance and various areas of the property. I need a motion to open up this process hearing, due process hearing.
Berenger will make the motion.
Second,
Carl is second.
call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. The public hearing is open. Due process hearing is open. Anyone wishing to speak that either represents or is the owner of this property would please come forward.
Mayor, is from this picture, it's hard to tell, because I know the fire department was there for a fire call about 2 weeks ago, and the grass was about 1.5 feet high. But the way these pictures are, it's hard to tell, so, and I did make the building department aware of it then.
You wondering if it's cut?
What's that?
Are you wondering if it's cut?
Yeah, if it's not cut, I guess that'll be part of what he's got highlighted here, is
Yep.
just
No, it would be,
garbage and debris shall be removed from the property and properly disposed of, but it was about 2 weeks ago, we were there for a fire call, and I notified the building department of the grass.
I'm thinking that would be covered under the dead or dying trees and accumulation of brush, shrubs, and weeds or grass.
Yeah.
Council, right? All land must be kept free of dead or dying trees and accumulation of brush, shrubs, weeds, grass. That would be in relation to the height of the grass?
Yeah, I mean, we modified the local law to set a specific height, if you recall, and so anything over that height, again, a violation's issued, and if it isn't cut, then you can cut.
Okay.
But there's more than just that.
There is, but I'm saying this would be inclusive of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, because it says here, the specific violation is garbage, including a tire found alongside the curb. That was the specific violation. I just want to get,
Nevertheless, he's not here.
Okay, if no one is here, let the record show that no one is here to speak on this property. 203-5-16.2. I need a motion to close the due process hearing.
Berenger will make the motion.
Ferraro, second.
Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried, thank you. Okay, next order of business was an item, we have two things there. The department reports as submitted by our department heads and the clerk. And then there was a item added that I'd like to just make sure we get onto. So first order is, let's do the department reports as submitted by the departments and the clerk. Has everyone had a chance to read through them? Okay, I need a motion to accept them as submitted.
Berenger will make the motion.
Carl will second for just some quick discussion.
Sure.
Just find where I am here. We did, the water department did do their biannual flushing, so that's out of the way. And that's it for now.
Okay. All right, so we had a first and second. Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried, thank you. Next order of business is budget transfers. This was given to the clerk at the end of business today. I believe everybody was given a copy of the, okay.
Yeah.
So I'd like to just make sure everybody's on the same page with me, just so we understand on the budget modifications. There were two lines. They're both on the income side, and I'll explain them if anybody has any questions on it. The first one refers to police overtime of $1,330. That specifically references the police interaction on Freeland that was paid for by Orange and Rockland Utilities. Am I correct? Yeah. Okay. So that's what that was about. That was the gas line. They brought the police detail out there to help them manage the traffic, and they had to pay that. The second item is two motor vehicles, 453 and 461. Both those vehicles were auctioned off and resulted in a sale total of $12,900. So that's the second item.
I got a question on that one.
Yeah.
Because last month, it was labeled as police trucks, and I asked what that was, and I was told it was the sale of two SUVs, I guess. We approved something last month regarding that, if anybody remembers that.
I thought it was the van, the truck, the
Oh,
unmarked
no,
van.
No, it said police trucks, and when I questioned it, it was two of the SUVs.
I don't know.
So I just,
It was the unmarked,
September 26 minutes.
okay, well, I don't mind tabling it if there's a question here.
does
I don't
anybody
know.
recall when I asked when it said police trucks? And it said it was two of the vehicles? So I'm assuming it's one and the same here.
No, it's not. So there were four vehicles.
Well, those unmarked ones, we got rid of them a while ago.
Oh, then I don't know.
I can see the minutes right now.
Yeah, we got rid of those, the van, and there was a car or something. We got rid of that, that was a while ago. This was last month. I just got this tonight, or I would've
We all
checked in
did,
on
yeah,
it.
no, we all did.
And can we in the future,
There was a budget transfer here.
Chief is saying they auctioned off 453 and 461.
Yeah.
Had that.
Right.
Yeah, sale of equipment, police motor vehicles, $6,700, police revenue, police line sale, police truck. Police truck should read police SUVs.
Well, it's not an SUV, it's an Econoline van,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And the other one was a Chrysler minivan, both unmarked.
Yeah.
you didn't get $6,000 a piece for them?
No, total, 6,700.
That was for the other two vehicles,
These two vehicles raised 12,900. 453 and 461 together raised 12,900. The other two vehicles,
How much were the other two vehicles?
There they are right here.
6,700 total.
There they are right there.
Yeah, that's this, what's this from?
This is from the September 26th.
6,300 and 6,300.
63, 66.
That's the SUVs.
I'm looking at Ford,
Ford Explorer
2016 Ford Explorer SUV/police vehicle. That's 453.
Marty,
These could be one of the ones that were kind of in,
no, it's the same thing.
yeah.
The point is, I believe there was a motion, and tell me if I'm wrong here, from the minutes. These two vehicles right there you're looking at,
Yeah.
these were two vehicles that we had put out to auction. We had to authorize it being put out to auction. As a result of that auction, those are the two vehicles. Those two vehicles, we never took the income and put it into this, back into the police budget line. That's the way I'm reading this.
I believe so.
And not, in other words, we took it, we sent it out to auction, it resulted in a sale.
But we're
We
just
accepted
acting,
the sale, and now we're actually
just
just,
acting
I think
on it.
Anthony's just budgeting it, putting it back into the budget line.
So then what did we do last month?
I just sent you a picture of it.
There wasn't any budget transfer that we're doing right now. It just
I
was,
think it's from another sale. I think there was more than, I don't know how many trucks or cars they've sold in the last.
Listen, let's just table it. Okay, let's move on.
Back in June. June. they
It's a little
did that.
confusing.
Okay.
You'll have to, I don't.
That's right. Next order of business, the approval of the board meeting minutes of October 3rd. I need a motion to accept them as submitted by the clerk.
Carl will make the motion.
Second,
O'Connor will second.
call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Next order of business is the special meeting of October 9th. I need a motion to accept them as submitted by the clerk.
Berenger will make the motion.
Carl will second.
Call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Okay, next order of business is the resignation of zoning board of appeals alternate member Lynn Seer. Resolved, the board of trustees accept the resignation of zoning board of appeals alternate member Lynn Seer effective October 10, 2023. The board of trustees wish Lynn Seer well in her future endeavors. I need a motion to accept the resignation as submitted.
Carl will make that motion.
Second,
O'Connor will second.
call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried, and we wish her well. Next order of business is the adoption.
Okay, so the next two local laws, which seems to be giving us a lot of trouble, we did get the county referral back, local determination, no problem. I did speak to, but it also had to be referred to the planning board, and the planning board has 45 days to respond with comments. So I spoke with the planning board attorney, who confirmed that the planning board has absolutely no problem with the two local laws, but the way they do their process is they discuss it. She writes up a little memo of what they discussed, and then they wait till their next meeting to actually accept it, and then it gets sent. So it's a little different from the way I've seen it handled elsewhere, but that's your planning board's procedure, and that's what they're sticking to. So my suggestion is we table this one more time to the November 6th meeting, adopt it then, and
And that's it.
that's it. And then it goes to and then it will become law.
Okay.
The next meeting of the zoning board, just for your information.
No, I don't think we want to talk about that right now.
Okay.
Yep.
So we expect a very simple, yeah, it's fine, we have no problem with it, but we just don't have that yet from your planning board.
Okay, next order of business is trustee Berenger. Intermunicipal agreement, Village of Monroe and the Woodbury Central School District.
Okay, hold on.
What I have.
Are we tabling both of these?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that was, I couldn't find it.
Yes.
Be it resolved, the Board of Trustees authorize Mayor Dwyer to enter into an intermunicipal agreement with the Monroe Woodbury Central School District to provide a school resource officer program in the schools that are within the village's geographical boundaries, which include North Main Elementary, Pine Tree Elementary, and Sapphire Elementary. The term of the agreement is from July 1st, 2023 to June 30th, 2024, and is renewed each year upon mutual consent. I'd like to put this in the form of a motion.
Second, please?
Carl, a second for discussion.
Sure.
I brought the same thing up last year with this contract, and I'll bring it up again. Article 2, paragraph A, to be consistent with the entire contract, it reads right now, the chief of police shall assign Monroe police officers. That should read Village of Monroe police officers, because everywhere else in this contract, it says Village of Monroe police officers. This is the second year now that I brought that to the board's attention.
Okay, so we table it.
That's the only
That's good.
modification.
No, good. Table it.
Is there a deadline on when it has to be signed?
I don't know.
It's the only modification that
Let's
needs
just
to be
table
done.
it.
Right here,
Okay,
right
yep.
here.
Okay. Next order of business, trustee Berenger, Police Department, Chief Guzman.
Chief Guzman has been chosen to attend the highly selective FBI National Academy Session Number 289 to be held in Quantico, Virginia, starting January 7th, 2024 through March 14th, 2024. The FBI National Academy Associates, Inc. is dedicated to providing our communities with the highest degree of law enforcement expertise, training, education, and information. Chief Guzman is confident this training will provide the expertise needed to meet future changes in law enforcement. There's no cost to the village for training, meals, or lodging. He will be available via telephone, email, or video conference. Lieutenant Young will handle the day-to-day department operations, and they will be in contact on a daily basis. Be it resolved, the Board of Trustees approves Chief Guzman to attend the FBI National Academy Session Number 289 in Quantico, Virginia, from January 7th, 2024 through March 14th, 2024. And I'd like to put this in the form of a motion.
Second, please.
O'Connor will second.
Call the question, discussion?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
All right, so carried. Next order of business is the Village of Monroe Board of Trustees resolution concerning the violation of property of 305 North Main. Okay, as per Village Code, Article 1, Section 155A, 6E, failure to control trash and rubbish roll land must be kept free of dead, dying trees and accumulation of brush, shrubs, weeds, grass, stumps, roots, excessive or obnoxious growth, garbage or refuge or debris which would either tend to start a fire or increase the intensity of a fire already started, or cause poisoning or irritation to people or animals, or tend to cause or enhance an unhealthy or dangerous or obnoxious condition on said property or on any adjacent or neighboring property. The specific violation is piles of garbage to the left and right of the driveway, in the rear of the property, and on the right side of the house, and miscellaneous garbage throughout the property. There has been failure to remedy. Whereas longstanding violations of the Village of Monroe Property Maintenance Law, Chapter 155A-6E of the Village of Monroe Code have existed at 305 North Main Street, Village of Monroe, 10950, designated as tax map SBL 201-5-11, and whereas the property owner has been given proper and lawful notice of said violations and has been directed to correct the violations, and whereas the property owner is given the due process of a due process hearing to be held at the Board of Trustees on October 17, 2023, at 7 p.m., and whereas the owner did not appear, and whereas the owner did not take the steps to correct the violations still exist, and whereas the Board of Trustees is authorized pursuant to Section 155-A8 of the Property Maintenance Law to authorize the village to undertake such remedies to correct the violations of the property owners at cost and expense. Be it further resolved that the village clerk shall mail a certified copy of this resolution to them via certified mail. Be it further resolved that any violation that remains uncorrected on the property as of today, October 17th, the Board of Trustees hereby authorize the village, its contractors or agents to enter upon the property to correct the aforesaid violation, and that all costs incurred by the village, including administrative, legal, and corrective costs, be charged to the property owner, and such charge shall be added to the tax bill of the property owner if not paid within 30 days of notification to the last known address of the property owner as shown on the village tax records. I need a motion to accept this determination.
Carl will make that motion.
Ferraro, second.
Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Next order of business, Sacred Heart Church, Holy Name Society, Christmas Nativity. Resolved, the Board of Trustees approve the request of Sacred Heart Church, Holy Name Society to provide a Christmas Nativity display in Crane Park for the Christmas holiday. Coordination will be made with the DPW working leader, Chiapetta. I need a motion to permit this.
Ferraro, make the motion.
Berenger will second.
Discussion? Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Next order of business is the authorization to advertise zoning board of appeals vacancy for the one alternate member. The Village of Monroe Board of Trustees is currently seeking applicants to fill a vacancy on the Village Board of Trustees as an alternate member. The ZBA meets on the second Tuesday of the month at 8 p.m. Anybody interested in the Village of Monroe residents should send their resume to Mayor Neil Dwyer, care of the Village Clerk, 7 Stage Road, Monroe, New York, 10950. Resolved, the Board of Trustees authorize the Village Clerk to advertise to fill a vacancy in the Zoning Board of Appeals for an alternate member. I need a motion to permit the clerk to go out and make this advertisement.
Carl will make that motion.
Second?
O'Connor will second.
Discussion? Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carl, I.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. The next order of business, Trustee Carl.
Okay. Resolve the Board of Trustees approves payment number 2 submitted by Regal Utility Service Incorporated, 731 Warwick Turnpike, Hewitt, New Jersey, 07421 for the 4th Street Water Main Replacement Project in the amount as recommended by the village engineer. Mayor Dwyer is hereby authorized to sign the voucher for payment, subject to the recommendation from village engineer John O'Rourke and approval from attorney Elise Terhune. And I'll put that in the form of a motion.
Second?
Berenger will second.
And just for clarification, so everybody understands the amount, as of this Friday, anybody that submits the payment request, the amount that's being requested will be the amount that's being submitted for payment within the scope of the contract. Unfortunately, between different delays and whatnot, and this being a CDBG project for us, it's a timely submittal process with the agency responsible for it. So we're doing this in advance or anticipation on Friday receiving a voucher request, which will have to be approved, but contingent upon that, we'll be okay. Okay?
So you don't have the voucher yet?
No.
No.
But we will. And it'll be within the scope of the contract and the signed contract. Okay, so we have first, second, call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carly.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Okay, next order of business is the Board of Monroe, Village of Monroe Board of Trustees resolution concerning violation of property maintenance 290 Spring Street, SBL 209-1-9.22, as per Village Code, Article 1, Section 155A, 6E, failure to control trash and rubbish. Road land must be kept free of dead, dying trees and accumulation of brush, shrubs, weeds, grass, stumps, roots, excessive and obnoxious growth, garbage, refuge, or debris which would either tend to start a fire or increase the intensity of a fire already started, or cause poisoning or irritation to people or animals, or cause to tend or cause or enhance an unhealthy or dangerous or obnoxious condition on said property or an adjacent or neighboring property. The specific violation is garbage, including tire found alongside the home, at the curb, on the Ash Street side of the house. There has been failure to remedy. And whereas long-standing violations of the Village Property Maintenance Code, Chapter 155A-6E of the Village Code of Monroe have existed at 290 Spring Street, Village of Monroe, 10950, designated as tax map SBL 209-1-9.22, and whereas the property owner has been given proper and lawful notice of said violation and has been directed to correct the violation, and whereas the property owner was given due notice of a due process hearing to be held on October 17, 2023 at 7 p.m. by the Board of Trustees, and whereas the owner did not appear, and whereas the owner has not taken steps to correct the violation and the violation still exists, and whereas the Board of Trustees is authorized pursuant to Section 155-A8 of the Property Maintenance Law to authorize the village to undertake and remedy such violation at the property owner's expense and cost. It be it further resolved that the village clerk shall mail a certified copy of this resolution to the property owner via certified mail. So just the language in that, we just tighten that up a little bit, that last sentence. If you take a look at it, read it again. Make sense?
Which, on the.
So yes, be it further resolved that the village clerk,
That's, we use the same one on the.
no, I'm just, I'm repeating it and I'm getting tied.
Yeah.
Okay, be it further resolved that any violation that remains uncorrected at the property as of today, October 17, 2023, the Board of Trustees hereby authorize the village, its contractors or agents to enter upon the property to correct the aforesaid violation, that all costs incurred by the village, including administrative, legal, and corrective costs, be charged to the property owner, and such a charge shall be added to the tax bill of the property owner if not paid within 30 days of notification to the last known address of the property owner, shown as the village tax records. I need a motion to accept this.
Carl will make that motion.
Second,
Berenger will second.
call the question.
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carly.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Next order of business is the Village of Monroe Board of Trustees resolution concerning violation of property maintenance at 207 North Main Street with SBL of 203-5-6.2. As per Village Code, Article 1, Section 155A-6E, failure to control trash and rubbish. All land must be kept free of dying trees and accumulations of brush, shrubs, weeds, grass, stumps, roots, excessive and/or noxious growth, garbage, refuge, or debris, which would either tend to start a fire or increase the intensity of fire already started, or cause poisoning or irritation to people or animals, or cause or tend to cause or enhance an unhealthy or dangerous obnoxious condition on said property or on any adjacent or neighboring property. The specific violation is garbage, debris, and junk in the front entrance and various areas of the property. There has been failure to remedy. Whereas longstanding violations of the village's Property Maintenance Code, Chapter 155A-6E of the Village Code of Monroe have existed at 207 North Main Street, Village of Monroe, 10950, designated as tax map SBL 203-5, 16.2. And whereas the property owner has been given a proper due hearing to be held on the Board of Trustees on by the Board of Trustees on October 17, 2023 at 7 p.m. And whereas the owner did not appear, and whereas the owner has not taken steps to correct the violation, and the violation still exists, and whereas the Board of Trustees authorized pursuant to Section 155-A8 of the Property Maintenance Law to authorize the village to undertake it to remedy such property violation of the property at owner's cost and expense, be it further resolved, the village clerk's mail a certified copy to the property owner via certified mail. Be it further resolved, any violation that remains uncorrected on the property as of today, October 17th, the Board of Trustees hereby authorize the village, its contractors or agents, to enter upon the property to correct the aforesaid violation at all costs incurred by the village, including administrative, legal, and corrective costs, be charged to the property owner, and such charge shall be added to the tax bill of the property owner if not paid within 30 days of notification to the last known address of the property owner as shown on the village's tax map. I need a motion to accept this determination.
Carl will make that motion.
Ferraro second. Carl second.
Who was first?
Carl.
Carl.
Second?
Second is O'Connor.
Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, aye.
Carl, aye.
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Okay, next order of business. Trustee Carl, you want to do the street sweeper one? You have that? Yeah,
I got it.
You want to say something?
Might be easiest just to read it from here.
yeah.
All right. You just want to get right into the nuts and bolts here.
That's all.
All right, the bond resolution of the Village of Monroe, New York, adopted October 17, 2023, authorizing the issuance of bonds in a principal amount not to exceed $300,000 to finance the acquisition of a street sweeper, stating the estimated maximum cost thereof is $300,000 and appropriating said amount for such purpose. The Board of Trustees of the Village of Monroe in the County of Orange, State of New York, hereby resolves by favorable vote as follows. Section 1, the Village of Monroe in the County of Orange, New York, called the Village, is hereby authorized to issue bonds in a principal amount not to exceed $300,000 pursuant to the local finance law constituting Chapter 33-A of the Consolidated Laws of the State of New York, herein called the law, to finance the acquisition of a street sweeper. Section 2, the estimated maximum cost of the project described herein, including preliminary cost and cost incidental thereto, and the financing thereof, is $300,000, and said amount is hereby appropriated for such purpose. The plan of financing includes the issuance of bonds in a principal amount not to exceed $300,000 to finance said appropriation, and the levy and collection of taxes on all taxable real property in the village to pay the principal of said bonds and the interest therein as the same become due payable. Section 3, the following additional matters are hereby determined and declared. A, the period of probable usefulness applicable to the object or purpose for which said bonds are authorized to be issued, with a limitation of Section 11A28 of the law is 15 years. However, the bond authorized pursuant to this resolution and any bond anticipated notes in anticipation of sale of said bond shall mature no later than 5 years after the date of original issuance of said bonds or notes.
Let's just go to Section 7.
You don't want to read the whole thing?
I don't think it's necessary.
All right. I was on a roll.
There you
The
go.
bond resolution shall take effect immediately, and the village clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish the foregoing resolution and summary, together with a notice attached in substantially the form prescribed by Section 81 of the law in the official newspaper of the village. The adoption of the foregoing resolution was, I will make the motion. Needs a second.
O'Connor will
please.
second.
Okay. Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carly?
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. John, can you do the second one too for the lighting?
Oh,
Just do this here. And then the final paragraph.
all right. Bond resolution of the Village of Monroe, New York, adopted October 17, 2023, authorizing the issuance of bonds in a principal amount not to exceed $600,000 to finance the construction of improvements to the village street lighting system, stating the estimated maximum cost thereof is $600,000, and appropriating said amount for such purposes. Take it down to the bottom.
Section 7.
Section, sections. This bond resolution shall take effect immediately, and the village clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish the foregoing resolution and summary together with a notice attached in substantially the form prescribed by Section 81 of the law in the official newspaper, and I will put that in a form of a motion.
Second, please.
Berenger will second.
Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carly?
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. And the last one, since you're on a roll, you would.
Bond resolution for the Village of Monroe, New York, adopted October 17, 2023, authorizing the issuance of bonds in a principal amount not to exceed $100,000 to finance the acquisition and installation of parking kiosks, stating the estimated maximum cost thereof is $100,000 and appropriating said amount for such purpose. This bond resolution shall take effect immediately, and the village clerk is hereby authorized and directed to publish in the foregoing resolution in summary, together with a notice attached in substantially the form prescribed by Section 81 of the law in the official newspaper of the village. I will put that in form of a motion.
Second, please.
O'Connor will second.
Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, I.
Carly?
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye. Thank you. Okay, council, do you have anything? Trustee Berenger?
Yeah, I just attended with the police chief and the lieutenant, the Village of Monroe Police Department. We just received the Gold Award through AAA. It's a traffic safety award that's presented to communities for their efforts to improve local traffic safety for all road users. And it was just a nice ceremony and award, and I'm proud of our department.
Thank you. Trustee Ferraro?
Nothing.
Trustee Carl?
Yeah, just something that's been, it seems to, the last few weeks has gotten a little bit a problem. Out here in the back in the restricted Village Hall
Yep.
parking, it seems that there's a lot of vehicles parking in there that aren't here for Village Hall business.
Right.
The stencils that are on the pavement say village business only, and that could lead somebody to think that they're going to a village business. But I think that because it's getting to the point, sometimes it's hard to find a parking spot.
Right.
And I did park over next door. I actually knew the one lady that was over there, and I told her I was only gonna be a few minutes. But we need to clamp down on this, because you watch them, they get out of their cars and they're going this way, they're going that way, and they're not here for Village Hall business.
Can we change it to Village Hall parking?
Well,
only?
that's what the way that's stenciled, it says village business only. And it should really read, Village Hall business, or, Village Hall business only. Because you got somebody trying to find a parking spot, they come pay a water bill. The elderly people still love to come out and pay their bills. But it's
I think it's both is out there. I think village employees is one stencil, and I think what you just said is the
Yeah.
back half. So we need to probably clear that up.
yeah, it should get
Well,
cleaned up.
we're going to start doing
Right,
that for when we start the renovations.
right.
Oh,
I
yeah.
just wanted to bring that to
Yeah,
the
I
board's
appreciate it.
attention. Nothing with One Stage Road yet?
I
No.
thought you were gonna put the guardrail up.
Guess he called me on that, right? Listen, John, what's his name? What's the attorney's name?
John, first.
First. So he suggested what was and wasn't a good idea. So I took that to heart. So, you know, we certainly could say, okay, that's over now, so can we put some resolution to this? It's gonna do every other thing. It's not a good look.
Well, what does the board wanna do?
The board wants them to finish up the job.
Well, I think we're just going to keep waiting.
No,
We had a plan in principle that they were gonna work off of. And the only thing they did was take the bushes out.
Yeah, that's it.
so can you just reach back to him and just say, I wanna meet with them, you know, today's Tuesday, Thursday?
Just wanna try to get it done, you
That's
know?
all, all right?
Make it safe for everybody.
Right.
No, we need more room.
I have, yeah, so, maybe 1 o'clock,
Thursday, 1 o'clock.
all right? Let me know, or what you hear back. Let Kim know as well, so anybody who wants to make that meeting.
We talk about that in executive, since he's looking for an answer from us.
Yeah, all right. Okay, Trustee O'Connor, anything?
Nothing.
Okay. Counsel, you said nothing, yes?
No.
Okay. Public comment?
Evening.
Maybe.
Everett Bierker, 46 Water Plant Road. I see we've started the project. It's looking good. We had TAM Enterprises on the property on Monday. I understand that you were in contact with Stefan
Yeah,
about the same time. So the board met on Wednesday, and we had some normal, I would think, requests for agreements, insurance, and so on and so forth. We're not here to stand in your way. We just want to make sure that we are protected as is any other landowner that you know, has a project like this
Sure.
going on. We understand this is a necessity. I, as a fireman, also understand that this is extremely, extremely important. We just want to make sure that we have whatever we need in our possession to protect ourselves in case something happens. Is everybody's good with that?
yeah, we have no, you know, our impact is to remain on the right-of-way only
Okay,
and not on your property.
okay.
That's
We
it.
would have allowed TAM onto the property also with
Yeah.
with similar agreements to repair the land, facilities, utilities, anything that would potentially get damaged in the process. We know that this is a very large undertaking.
Sure,
It's taken years to
sure.
do, so.
Sure. No, we understand, and we respect that, and so we're at this time going to work toward maintaining,
Okay.
work only on the right-of-way,
Okay.
only in the easement,
Yeah, yeah.
and not off of it. Should that come up, or the need arises,
Mhm.
I would certainly reach out to the board, your board, and
Okay.
advise them of it, and do whatever was necessary to address it.
In the municipality where I'm at, we provide a packet to all these private landowners with easements. It includes insurances, it includes scope of work, it includes everything. I don't know if that's a local thing or a general municipal law thing, I don't know. All I know is what we do, where I'm from. So
Sure.
if we can address that, that'd be greatly alleviate the concerns of my board.
Well, I know what we're doing right now, we're addressing what you just said with the
Okay.
town.
Good.
So they'll have full everything, you know,
Yep,
at that
yep.
point. So they've made us aware of the concerns and the letter
Perfect.
referencing so we're on the same page.
Perfect. Got a few questions about the pictures on the wall that I never noticed before. Is that one of Monbassia? That looks like it's
I don't
looking
think so. Is that a birch tree over there?
Yes,
That's out here.
that's out there. Oh, the
everything
mountains in
here-
the background look,
That one, this is the island before the land bridge.
okay.
That's Roscoe Smith.
All right.
That's the bridge right over here on Mill Pond going into the downtown.
That's a calendar.
Thanks.
Yep.
All right, never been in the room with so few people.
Yeah, no,
so
no
Thank you,
worries.
guys.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yep.
Have a great night.
Yeah,
You too.
You as well, thank you.
Okay, if there's no further public comment, I need a motion to go into executive for attorney-client and litigation. So, counsel, if you can talk about that in a moment, trustee Ferraro will close it out.
Berenger will make the motion that we go into
We have to close
executive.
out. We gotta make a motion.
I thought I just did, didn't I?
Berenger
I'm
just
sorry.
made the
You said
motion.
it, but you didn't do anything.
I need a motion to close out,
The motion.
well, to go into executive.
Yep, to go into executive.
I did. Go ahead.
Berenger will make the motion.
Ferraro, second.
Call the question?
Berenger, aye.
Ferraro, aye.
Carly?
O'Connor, aye.
Dwyer, aye, so carried. Thank you and good night, everyone.